This is topic D on page 18, creating a chart.
You have worked with numerical data to perform calculations. You can also chart information to show relationships between values, show trends, and summarize information in a graphical way. Showing table data in a chart can help your audience more easily understand the information. A chart is a graphical interpretation of data. The information can be organized as points on a line, grouped into columns or bars, or shown as slices in a circle or a pie. Line and bar charts have a vertical and a horizontal axis, with a scale showing the value on one axis and labels describing the data on the other axis. All types of charts should have a title. Pie charts use a legend to indicate what each color in the chart represents. So here in my example document, this is just random data. If I wanted to insert a chart into my document, first place your chart where you want it located. I'm going to place it in between these two paragraphs. So I'm going to click before the letter T in to change. I go up to my Insert tab on my ribbon. In my Illustrations command group, here I have my chart command. This opens the Insert Chart dialog box. To the left here, starting with column, are all different categories of charts that you can choose. You can see we have column, line, pie, we have bar charts, area, XY scatter, stock, surface, radar, tree map, sunburst, histogram, box and whisker, waterfall, and we also have combo charts. And combo charts are actually two types of charts, or even more than two it can be, shown in one actual chart area, which we'll get into later on. So all your different categories to the left here. I'm going to switch back to column real quick. Within each category, then you have your subtypes of that category. So you can see column has a bunch of different icons at the top here. So the different types we can choose from the column category: custom or clustered column, stacked column, 100% stacked column, 3D clustered column, 3D stacked column, 3D 100% stacked column, and 3D column. So all of your different categories you can see have different types. So you just go and choose the category you want. We'll do pie chart, and I'll select just the regular pie and click OK. And what's going to happen, you can see it inserted a chart into my document where my cursor was located. Well, what is that chart based on though? A little Excel spreadsheet opens on screen. Let me make this a little bigger for you. All it did is it put sample data in there, just something to show what this chart is based on. Nothing having nothing to do with what we want our chart to look like. Just kind of placeholder text. So in this mini Excel spreadsheet, you would go ahead and input the data that you want your chart to reflect. So I'm just going to, make up some random data here. We'll do how many students are in each classroom at Bar PC. So classroom 1, we'll just say there's 15 people in there. We'll do, classroom 2, we'll say that there's 12 people in there. And then classroom 3, we'll say that there are 7. I'm going to change my title of sales for my sample data. We'll do number of students. Now you can see I still have sample data of 4th quarter here from my sample data. I don't want that. I'm going to select row 5. I'm going to right click over that text and delete it. Now, as I'm typing, as I'm deleting, adding content, whatever, my actual chart in my document is automatically updating for me. I don't have to save anything in here. It's automatically reflected in my chart, so I can close that out. Now I take a look at my pie chart. This is considered my legend. It shows what each color indicates in my pie. So blue is classroom 1, red classroom 2, green classroom 3, with my title, number of students. If I click on this, this is actually my chart title placeholder. All right, and again, this is my legend. With the outside border of my chart, the main chart area selected, you can see I get my Chart Tools Design and Format contextual tabs. On my Chart Tools Design contextual tab, we have options in our chart layouts command group to add chart elements. We can choose different layouts. We'll see some of these in our activities coming up. We can change the color scheme of it. Maybe you want all different shades of green. You can see we get the live preview as we hover over. We have different chart styles. Again, live preview as you hover over. If you ever need to change the data, remember how many students were in each, you can go to your Edit Data drop down here, Edit Data. It will reopen that mini Excel spreadsheet so you can change it. Maybe I wanted to change my chart type. Select my button here. It opens up that same dialog box. Maybe I wanted a 3D pie chart. Just select your type, click OK. It will automatically update for you. It's very weak 3D here, but again, you can change the style, make it a little more dramatic there. Now, if I wanted to, obviously I can see the different classrooms compared to each other, but I can't see exactly how many students are in each. Up in the top right-hand corner, we have 4 buttons here. The first is going to be your layout options. So this is just your text wrapping. Remember when I went to insert my text, insert my chart, I put my cursor right before the T before to change the way, before that paragraph. Same way we have text wrapping for our pictures. Let me resize this a little bit. I can make this smaller. Same way we have text wrapping for our pictures, we have it for pretty much any object we insert into Word. So I can do square, where the text wraps around the side. Tight, bring it a little closer. Don't worry about through for now. We haven't gotten there. Top and bottom. So now that text is not on the same line as my chart. I can do behind, the text in front. Sorry, the chart behind the text or the chart in front of the text. I'm going to switch that to square wrapping. No, not wasting any space here, is flowing up the right side. So those are your layout options. Your plus sign also has different chart elements that you can add. Data labels. If I check this off, look at that. It puts the number of how many students for each classroom. So you can actually see the numerical figure, not just the size relative to the other classrooms. When I hover over that, any of these element options actually, you can see I have an arrow to the side there. Maybe if I wanted to change the location of my legend, you can hit that right arrow. I could put the legend to the left. I can put it to the right. I can put it at the top below the title. So you have different options for that. Your data labels, you can center them, inside end, outside end, best fit, data callout. So you have different options that you can add there. And then the other two buttons, these are the same styles that are located on your Design Contextual tab. And you also have different filtering on your fourth button. Maybe you only want to focus on classroom number 1. I can uncheck select all, just check off classroom 1, and you can see when I'm hovering over that, it dims out the rest of that pie chart for me. So again, I can just focus on exactly what I want. All right, so those are your different buttons. Make sure you have the chart selected so those buttons appear for you.
The next video will be activity 1.4 on page 23.